Hello, my pretties. Today I'm going to be making a review on the f4s for noobs. In this video, I'll go over the weaponry, the how it plays, and my final opinions and how good of a grinder it is. So to start off, it gets some pretty decent AM7Fs, which are radar-guided missiles and are, I'd say, pretty good. They track really well, and the radar on the f4s definitely helps too, as it's a pretty good radar. It also gets AM9Hs, which are rear aspect missiles, which are pretty good. In terms of radar, it's pretty good, and well, it gets the pulse Doppler mode, which is very nice. It also has a search mode, which is just the base one. And how you should use those, pulse Doppler is for when targets are low on the ground. And if they're high on the ground, no, high in the air, then there's a good chance that you could use the search mode. However, it kind of depends, and the pulse Doppler mode is the best one. On how you should use the AM7Fs, they're best to use within 6 to 5 kilometers. You can use 3, however, you'd have to do it pretty quickly, because once they get into 2 kilometers, they might just be moving too fast. The AM9Hs, you generally don't really want to be in a position where you can use them, however, I get in those positions a lot because I'm a noob, and, well, they are a normal AM9s, they are not that flare resistant, but they do pull some decent Gs, and because of the heads-up mounted display, which is basically where the missile goes wherever your cursor is, not the little crosshair, which is pretty good. Now the AM7Fs, you have to lock the target with your radar, which I'm not gonna get into. And for how it plays, you generally just want to look around the map. You just want to go in one direction and just go the way. Your acceleration and flight performance is, okay. You get leading edge slats, which are okay. You're still a phantom. You're not going to maneuver for shit, but yeah. And your acceleration is not the best around its battle rating. However, it is still pretty good. And you just want to go on one direction where usually the rest of the team will follow. Once you're, at the place and you see some targets, you want to wait to lock them until they're within the 6 to 5 kilometer radius. Then you just want to use your sparrows, which is the AM7Fs, and just hold your nose in the general direction. I'm pretty sure that helps. I'm not entirely sure. And because the AM7Fs are pretty good, there's a good chance that you'll hit. Also, if you see a target that has made the stupid decision of climbing a bit, do feel free to lock his ass and fire a missile at him, because there is very little he can do, and he might just be overwhelmed over the fact that there's so many targets. Maybe. And just want to fly a bit around and pick off targets of opportunity, because in a furball, you're going to die. You're really not a very maneuverable plane. You can't really dogfight. You're just going to die instantly. You mainly want to rely on your long-range missiles and your good radar. And at the start of the round, because of the F-14, you also just want to stay low to the ground. And for grinding, it's pretty good. It definitely gets the job done very nicely, and it's just pretty good. Now, in terms of bombing bases, if you're just starting out and you're like level 10, which I don't judge, I don't really care, I wouldn't recommend you bomb bases for one reason. Because, well, you're grinding to, planes around the same battle rating, they're going to use the same strategies as in radar missiles. So you want to get good at using radar missiles before you get to those. No, before you get to the higher tier F-15s, F-16s, and F-14s, just to make sure that you're not completely fucking useless and just gonna have a bad time and you go, oh my god, I spent $70 and I hate the game, oh my god. So please do learn how to use the radar and use that and make sure that you learn how to use it, because else you're not gonna have a good time once you get to those high tier planes. I would know. However, if you do know how to use radar missiles and all of that, I mean, it's still you can bomb bases. Because, well, you know how to play the game. There's no real reason to waste your time. Because bombing bases it is maybe a bit more efficient. But again, learn how to use radar missiles and the radar, and then maybe bomb bases. Also, you're gonna have a lot more fun going for radar missile kills and so on and so forth. It's just more fun. And you still get, maybe, if you win, you still get around the same amount, so it doesn't really hurt. As of my final opinions, if you're just starting out, I wouldn't entirely recommend buying this plane. For starters, the radar missiles and radar, it can be a bit confusing on when you should launch, when not to launch, what different things means, blah 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 blah. I'll see if I can link some YouTube videos that'll, one, help you on to see if you actually, want to buy this plane, and how to use the radar if you already bought it. So yeah. And however, if you're just starting out, I don't really think you should buy this plane because, well, first of all, radar's confusing and you don't really have the best flight performance. Plus, there are a lot of very good planes around this battle rating, like the F-16, the F-15, and the F-14. The F-14 is probably the biggest killer of, oh yeah, I want to buy this plane, because you have to hit the deck as soon as, the round begins, or you're gonna get smited from heaven. And that can be really frustrating for new players. And notching, which is how you dodge radar missiles, can also be quite confusing. So I wouldn't entirely recommend it if you're a new player. However, I do want to get into another topic that I think is important, which is what type of plane you enjoy the most. Do you enjoy dogfighting, or do you like missile slingers? Because if you like dogfighting, get the F5C. A lot of people would recommend it over the f4s, which I don't have the plane, but yeah, I'm gonna trust those people. And yeah, it's just a really good dogfighter, blah blah blah. You should get that if you like dogfighting. If you like missile slingers, there is two options, which is the A6E tram and the f4s. Now, luckily, I have both of those planes, and I have to say they're kind of similar, but they're at different battle ratings. The A6E is slower, a lot slower, and is not maneuverable at all. I mean, it is kind of, but it's a strike aircraft. It's not really going to maneuver that well. It gets a lot of air handles, and if you want me to make a review on that, just tell me in the comments. I will do that. However, if you like long-range snipes like me, yeah, the f4s is pretty worth it. And in the end, you can always just go back and bomb bases, which I know a lot of people will be mad at me for, like, oh, why are you gonna recommend this? Because I'm not here to have to, win games. That's if I'm top tier. I'm here to grind. I'm here to get to the planes that I want to win with. I want to get to the planes that I think are cool and fun. That's why I play War Thunder. So if you're here for the same reason, be my guest. So, yeah. For noobs, it's a little bit maybe not really. You shouldn't really buy it. You should definitely consider. However, if you're just starting out, the A6E might be a little better, simply because missile slinging is incredibly easy, and dogfighting can also maybe be a bit more confusing. And if you don't really know how to, tell where your gun is aiming or where your bullets are gonna hit, the F5 can be a little bit more problematic. So in the end, do I recommend that you buy this plane? Yes and no. Just starting out, highly consider the A6E if you want a missile slinger. However, the F5C is also a really, really good plane to pick up. So, yeah. Well, and in the end, it's all your choice. And if you're going to go bomb bases in the F4s, yes, I wouldn't really judge you. It's just other people are going to be mad at you. They're not going to tell you in game, but people are going to be mad at you. So, yeah. And, I guess that's kind of it. If you did find this helpful as a new player, number one, how? And number two, you're welcome. So, yeah. Just consider the other planes, just not the A10. The A10 is... I don't have it, but I can already tell, yeah, no, that's not gonna be a very good idea. Now, if you did find this helpful, like and subscribe, and, well, I'll see if I make another one of these. And bye-bye!